And joining us in studio in person, Tomas Manglotnia. Good morning, Tomas.
Good morning, Bree. Some of the latest developments in the not only impeachment trial of Governor Ralph Torres, but not one, but his second lawsuit in Superior Court. So today we wanted to give you just a recap of what has transpired and what has led us to many firsts in the Commonwealth, including the first time the Attorney General has criminally charged a sitting governor in NMI history. And so here's our first story that we first filed last week on the charges that the Attorney General filed against CNMI Governor Ralph Torres. The CNMI Attorney General Edward Manabusan filed a lawsuit in Superior Court against CNMI Governor Ralph Torres. The AG lists 14 counts, 12 counts for misconduct in public office, 1 count for theft, and 1 count for contempt. The AG asserts in the lawsuit that the governor did an illegal act under color of office. The lawsuit paints a picture that reflects the charges in the 6 articles of impeachment approved by the House in January, but have yet to be tried in the Senate. The AG lists the governor's actions, including his previous first-class travel, including for his wife, First Lady Diane Torres, using government funds ranging from April 12, 2018 to May 30, 2019. That travel amounted to $20,000. The AG also included the contempt charge certified by the House of Representatives in December for failing to appear before the legislative committee that was investigating him. That subpoena was recently challenged in Superior Court and awaits the decision by Judge Timothy Bellis. KOAM News has reached out to the governor's office for comment. Tomas Manglotnia for KOAM News on Saipan. For KOAM News on Saipan. Attorney General Edward Manabusan and the CNMI told media when this news broke last week that the charges follow months of thorough investigation by the Office of the Attorney General Investigator Division. The next steps in the process will be to have Governor Torres arraigned, the AG says, and allow the case to proceed in accordance with the criminal justice system. He says, as this is now an active case, neither I nor my office can provide further comments. Again, so the CNMI governor facing charges of misconduct in public office, 1 count of theft, and to the issuance of airline tickets for business class, first class, and other premium class travel for himself and his wife, First Lady Diane Torres, and the contempt charge that was certified by the legislature. We just wanted to go through each of the counts here that the governor is facing, and also wanted to mention that in the penal summons issued by the clerk of court in the CNMI, it summons Governor Ralph Torres to appear in the Superior Court on April 18, 9 a.m. with respect to this matter. And it says here specifically, if he does not appear, an application may be made for the issuance of a warrant for your arrest. And so Governor Torres again faces 12 counts for misconduct in public office. The first trip here that he took with regards to airline tickets, business class travel, first class travel was on April 12, 2018. That also happened for his wife, Diane Torres, who's the First Lady. Another trip that they note in this filing is his trip on June 8, 2018. A trip on July 11, 2018, for him and his wife, First Lady Diane Torres. Another trip on August 13, August 16, September 25, November 15, November 27, and December 17, and also April 12, 2018 to May 30th, 2019. All of that amounting to $20,000. The contempt charge again was issued because he failed to appear before the House committee that eventually impeached him a month later. And in this next story that we reported on, you'll be able to hear reaction across the region from CNMI officials commenting on this historic news.
But I am certain that since I started my journey to work for you, the people of the Commonwealth, that I have always had your interests, your safety, and your livelihoods at the forefront of any and every decision I make.
That was Governor Ralph Torres in December responding to the allegations of corruption, felony, and neglect of duty that they eventually impeached him for a month later. Tonight, the governor's interest and livelihood are called into question. Late Friday, for the first time in NMI history, the Attorney General filed criminal charges against the chief executive.
I am not perfect, nor do I claim to be.
Those imperfections seemingly outlined in the criminal case against him, alleging 12 counts of misconduct in public office, 1 count of theft, and 1 count of contempt. The lawsuit reflects the charges in the 6 articles of impeachment approved by the House in January, but have yet to be tried in the Senate. The AG cites the governor's previous first-class travel, including for his wife, First Lady Diane Torres, using government funds ranging from April 12, 2018 to May 30, 2019, costing $20,000. Attorney General Edward Manabusan says the charges follow months of thorough investigation. The governor was summoned to appear before the Superior Court on April 18, and if he fails to, he could be arrested. Late Sunday, the CNMI governor's office says that they trust the justice system, declined to comment further, and forwarded the charges to Torres's private counsel. Over the weekend, officials across the CNMI sounding off. Lieutenant Governor Arnold Palacios, who's running for governor as an independent, says this is uncharted territory. He says the charges demonstrate that no one is above the law. Representative Selena Babauta, who led the impeachment investigation in the House, says that it gives us hope. Meanwhile, the Republican Party and the committee to elect Torres and his running mate sitting Senator Vinny Sablan say they can't help but question the timing and motive of the charges. They say it's a political attack. While it has yet to be seen if the governor will pay fines or even face potential jail time as a result of the charges, the November election is nearing, and Torres continues to find himself in hot water. Tomas Manglotnya for KOAM News. And we also wanted to share some of more comments from the Lieutenant Governor Arnold Palacios, who, again, we should note is running for Torres' seat, wanting to replace him. Lieutenant Governor Arnold Palacios also testified in the legislative committee hearings that eventually led to the impeachment of his former running mate and still Governor Ralph Torres. In the CNMI, Palacios told media, quote, "Governor Torres is innocent until proven guilty and his due process rights should be respected." He says, for the first time in our history, a sitting governor has been criminally charged with multiple counts of misconduct in public office, theft, and contempt. Palacios says this is indeed unfortunate and is a blemish to the CNMI. He says, despite recent events, the filing of the information by the Attorney General demonstrates that we continue to uphold the rule of law and no one is above the law, Palacios says. He adds and concludes here in his letter, now more than ever, we must come together and rise above the politics. Let us allow the legal process to take its course, and let us respect the rule of law. To our people, let us not relish in the governor's current dilemma. Instead, we must unite, heal, and move forward as a Commonwealth. He says, may God bless our Commonwealth. Also wanted to share some more comments from the CNMI House of Representatives who reacted to the news of the ongoing case in Superior Court. Chairwoman Selena Babauta, who was instrumental and led the investigation in the lower house into Governor Ralph Torres, says, quote, my colleagues and I have maintained that no person is above the law. We wholeheartedly thank the Office of the Attorney General for acting in the interest of justice for our people. The charges filed in Superior Court this afternoon gave us hope as a Commonwealth. Vice Speaker B.J. Attal also commented and weighed in. He says, quote, this has been a difficult journey for the people of the CNMI who have been patiently waiting for something to come of the investigatory process. This is truly a step towards achieving justice, he says. B.J. Attal says, I would like to thank the members of the 21st Legislature who first brought these issues to light. The work they started paved the road for this victory. I would also like to thank JGO Chairwoman Babauta, he says. And lastly, Representative Tina Sablan, who, again, we should note, is running to replace Governor Torres and under the Democratic Party. She says, we hope this development will encourage the Senate to revisit their decision to proceed with the impeachment trial without any House prosecutors or the impeachment record. So when we discuss what's happening with regards to all of the proceedings when it comes to the governor, it's not just the impeachment trial, it's also these court cases. And so we see these lawmakers commenting on those across the board. And also some late developments yesterday with regards who will hear that case before the Superior Court with the CNMI Attorney General and Governor Ralph Torres. And we did find out yesterday that it will in fact be Guam Judge Alberto Tolentino who will be hearing the CNMI AG's case against Governor Ralph Torres. And this comes after all trial court judges in the CNMI decided to step away. So here's our story from yesterday about why the CNMI judges decided to not touch this case.
To my dear people of the Commonwealth, I want to speak to you today about the political attacks that myself and my family have endured unfairly for a long time, and why I will not subject myself as governor to an unfair and unlawful political hearing. Over the course of the past year, we have seen a politically driven House committee conduct a witch hunt on innocent government employees in order to fulfill their political goals. We saw certain elected officials censor people for not answering questions in a way that they want, and even hold people in contempt for not cooperating with their agenda. Last week, on December 7th, my office reached out to the JGO committee in good faith to negotiate a fair and balanced setting to address their questions, which the committee responded the following day. My office exchanged conversations with the JGO committee to discuss a neutral venue with Chairwoman Selena Babalta asking questions and Speaker Edmund Villagomez as the moderator. This event was also to be live streamed for our public to view. Over the weekend, the JGO rejected this proposal, even though it was fair, balanced, and focused on the issues at hand between two separate and equal branches of government. When these elected officials took the oath of office in January, the same oath that I took as governor, they swore to faithfully discharge their duties as public servants. However, as we have seen for months, the House JGO Committee have used the House chamber not for policy debate or deliberation of important issues, but for political intimidation in order to promote their agenda. Their agenda is simple. The House JGO Committee wants to impeach a governor who was elected by the people. But who do they not like? They do not seek to provide solutions to our island's problems, and they have sat on the sidelines throughout this pandemic while throwing rocks at everything we do to keep our people safe. I will not be attending the House JGO Committee hearing because the executive branch is a separate and equal branch of government under the Commonwealth Constitution and must be treated equally to the legislative branch. The office of the governor should not be and cannot be subordinated to the legislature, let alone the overreaching acts of an out-of-control committee of the House of Representatives. I do this to protect not only the rights as governor, but to protect the institution of governor under the Constitution, and thus protect future governors from arbitrary overreach by future legislatures. I am asking everyone in our community to ease tension, calm tempers, and help to promote peace in our Commonwealth. I am not perfect, nor do I claim to be, but I am certain that since I started my journey to work for you, the people of the Commonwealth, that I have always had your interests, your safety, and your livelihoods at the forefront of any and every decision I make. I know we are not where we were before the typhoons and COVID-19, but I know we can get there again. Collaboration is our story. It is the story of our Commonwealth. And it is why we are a resilient people. What is needed now is for us to work together. All of us can choose to rise above the political noise and find common ground and shared purpose. We must focus on advancing the interests of the CNMI, safeguarding our people, defeating the pandemic, rebuilding our economy, and upholding the rule of law. Today, I am calling on everyone who calls CNMI home to overcome the politics of the JGO committee and to work together on solutions for our people. Let us choose to move forward, united for the good of our families, our villages, and our Commonwealth. Thank you. God bless you. And God bless the Northern Mariana Islands. God bless the Northern Mariana Islands.
There, that was the governor's statement from December when he was responding to the JGO subpoena, saying he won't appear before that legislative committee. We have yet to receive comment on the particular matter with regards to the recent criminal charges. So again, that clip was from December, shedding some light on his perspective on all of this and the allegations made against him. Like we said, we reported yesterday breaking details of Judge Tolentino on Guam, who will be hearing the case in the historic case in Superior Court, and all 5 trial court judges in the NMI recused themselves. So again, here's that story of why local judges in the NMI will not be involved in this case. As the historic legal battle looms in Superior Court after the Attorney General filed criminal charges against Governor Ralph Torres alleging misconduct in public office, theft, and contempt, all 5 trial court judges in the NMI are keeping their hands off the case. Overnight, the island's Superior Court judges issued their recusal, saying they can't touch this. Conflicts in the case continue to boil as the governor attempts to swim out of hot water. Judge Wesley Bogdan recused himself because he previously served as the governor's legal counsel. He took his seat on the bench in 2017 after being appointed by Governor Torres. Judge Joseph Camacho's recusal notes a conflict of interest. That conflict, his wife, Attorney Viola Alapuzo, is representing the governor in this matter. She was also caught editing the Senate impeachment trial rules before they were made public and before she was hired to serve as Torres' counsel in that hearing. In their recusals, Judge Teresa Kim Tenorio, Judge Robert Naraha, and Judge Kenneth Gavendo say their objectivity in the matter might be questioned as well. But this is not the first time the courts are maintaining a distance. The same judges also recused themselves months ago in the ongoing Superior Court case where the governor is challenging the legislative subpoena that he was held in contempt for violating in the House of Representatives committee investigation. That contempt charge is also listed in the AG's suit. It's unclear who the High Court will appoint to fill the seat. It could very well be a jurist from Guam. In a statement to the press over the weekend, the governor's office declined to comment further, but stressed that they have trust in the CNMI justice system. Tomas Manglotnya for KOAM News. And Bree, right after that story aired, we reported out that it will be Judge Tolentino who will be hearing the case. Of course, the parties have 10 days to file any objection if they see that Judge Tolentino has any conflict at all. So, but it is likely he will hear this case. And just want to end here by reading the full statement, 3 sentences from the governor's office after this news broke. He goes, on April 10, quote, "The CNMI office of the governor has received a copy of the charges filed by the Attorney General against Governor Ralph de Leon Guerrero Torres. The office of the governor trusts in the CNMI's justice system and declines to comment further on the pending litigation. The matter has been forwarded to Governor Torres's private counsel." So that's just a glimpse of the saga and what has unfolded in the past few months. He was impeached in January. The Senate impeachment trial has yet to even get off the ground, really, and he's facing 2 lawsuits in Superior Court.
I gotta say thank you, Tomas, for kind of giving us the history and refreshing our memories as to how all of this went down, because I just kind of feel like after watching all of that, we're kind of still, in the same spot,
place.
right?
Right.
From back in December.
Yes.